Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's be totally honest for a second. Have you ever looked at your pay stub, seen the massive, frankly heartbreaking difference between your gross pay and what actually hit your bank account and thought, wait, where exactly did all my money go? We have all felt that exact same sting. Well, today we're going to transform that confusing jumble of numbers into a clear, solvable blueprint. We are tracking the exact journey of a dollar from the moment you earn it to the moment you can actually spend it. And we're going to uncover a few hidden financial superpowers along the way. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover 1. The pre-tax deduction discount, 2. Common pre-tax benefits, 3. Calculating your net pay, and finally, 4. The gross to net path. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The pre-tax deduction discount. We're beginning our journey with the very first thing that shrinks your gross pay.
Now, it might sound a little painful at first to see money coming out, but it actually turns out to be a massive hidden advantage. The crucial thing to wrap your head around is that a pre-tax deduction is definitely not a penalty. It's actually an exclusive perk for W-2 employees. It's a voluntary amount of money taken straight from your gross pay before your federal, and usually state, income taxes are even calculated. Because this money is siphoned off before the tax math happens, it lowers your total taxable income. You literally end up paying less in income tax, which effectively gives you an insider discount on whatever benefit you're buying. Pretty cool, right?
What's really fascinating is how the math actually proves this discount. Let's imagine you're in the 12% federal tax bracket, and you decide to put $200 a month into a pre-tax 401k. Now, instinctively, you might think, well, I'm going to be $200 poorer this month. But because that $200 reduces your taxable income, it saves you 12% in taxes, which comes out to $24. So subtracting that $24 from the $200 means your paycheck actually only shrinks by $176. The government is effectively subsidizing your retirement savings just by not taxing that money up front.
Section 2. Common pre-tax benefits. Let's take a look at the specific options your employer might be offering you right now. Here are your primary pre-tax heavy hitters. First off, health insurance premiums. If your job offers group coverage, your monthly share is usually pulled out pre-tax. Then you've got your traditional 401k retirement contributions. These directly lower your taxable income today while building your wealth for tomorrow. Next up are health savings accounts, or HSAs. These let you stash pre-tax money for medical expenses if you have a high deductible plan, and the absolute best part, those funds roll over from year to year. Finally, we have flexible spending accounts, or FSAs, which are pretty similar but usually don't roll over. It's a use-it-or-lose-it deal. Ultimately, all of these tools let you pay for essential life expenses using money the government hasn't even touched yet.
But hey, quick time out here, because it is incredibly vital to remember one thing. Voluntary does not mean free. While these are fantastic financial deals, thanks to the tax savings, you still have to adjust your personal budget. At the end of the day, they are still real dollars leaving your paycheck. A super common trap for newer workers is getting super excited, enrolling in all these amazing health and retirement benefits, and entirely forgetting to account for their temporarily lower net pay when figuring out unavoidable realities, like rent and groceries.
Section 3. Calculating your net pay. Now it's time to bring all of these abstract concepts to life with a real-world case study. I want you to meet Alex. Alex brings in a gross pay of $2,240 a month. But before he sees a single dime of that, the deductions kick in. We've got his standard federal tax, a flat 5% state tax, your standard Social Security and Medicare, and he's also opted into a $75 pre-tax health premium. Let's actually calculate his exact take-home pay together.
Treating this like a strict mathematical blueprint, we first map out those mandatory government taxes. Step 1. The federal tax takes its $249.47 share. Next, Step 2 takes 5% of his gross for state tax, which lands exactly at $112. Step 3 is Social Security at $138.88. And finally, Step 4 is Medicare at $32.48. These right here are just the fixed costs of earning an income in the real world.
Moving right along to Step 5, we add in Alex's voluntary $75 pre-tax health deduction. Now, tallying up all of those deductions, federal, state, FICA, and health, gives us a grand total of $607.83 in deductions. So, Step 7 is the moment of truth. We subtract that $607.83 from his gross pay to find his true, spendable net pay, and it comes out to $1,632.17.
When you break it all down, it brilliantly illustrates the final reality of Alex's paycheck. A solid 72.9% is what he actually takes home to pay his rent and buy his groceries. The remaining 27.1% goes straight out the door to taxes and insurance. Seeing the math laid out like this really drives home a key point. Taking home roughly 73% of your gross pay is actually incredibly typical for a worker in this income range.
Section 4. The gross to net path. To wrap up our explainer today, let's distill Alex's specific math into a universal formula.
You can use this permanent roadmap on your own pay stub every single time. Here are the 6 steps. You always start with your gross pay. Then you subtract those pre-tax voluntary deductions. This sequence is absolutely key, by the way. Taking these out first lowers the taxable income for all the government deductions that come next. Then you subtract federal income tax, state income tax, and FICA. Finally, you subtract any post-tax voluntary deductions if you happen to have them. The final result is your exact net pay. Understanding this sequence is exactly what protects you from those nasty budget surprises and empowers you to make way smarter decisions about your benefits and retirement planning.
All right, I'm going to leave you with one final puzzle to really test your new knowledge. If Alex decides to drop his health insurance, how exactly does the math change? Remember, that $75 was a pre-tax deduction. So if he removes it, his taxable income goes up. Does his federal and state taxes stay the same? Does his net pay actually increase by a full $75, or does the government suddenly take a bite out of that difference? Grab your own pay stub, run the math for yourself, and see exactly how much power you truly have over your paycheck. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and keep asking those great questions.